It's him again.
Here we go again. Messi! Mo Salah! Unbelievable!
It's 3-0, it's game over.
The cross back in, it's a great ball, back pass! Oh, they've done it! Western Sydney!
And welcome back to United by Football. I'm Abs.
And I'm Thomas, and today you might know that we are in a bit of a different setup. Take 5 seconds to guess the club.
Perth Glory.
Central Coast, I was going to say.
Mate, big thank you to Newcastle Jets. We are at Jets HQ today.
Yep.
We're out at their Members' Day. The fans are coming, the members are coming down, the players, both men's and women's will be here. We've been put in this wonderful
Trophy room.
Trophy room.
The trophies are just outside.
They had the A-League Championship out there, Thomas. Your club might not know a thing or two about that. Just letting you know.
Was that how you sort of said you walked in here? I'm going to start the show a bit differently. Is that the avenue you were taking?
Yeah, I said, we're at a club of prestige, a club of domestic.
What happens if the
superiority.
Wanderers ever invite you to film at their HQ?
Thank you very much if you do. But all jokes aside, man, some beautiful jerseys.
Yeah,
You've got
absolutely.
Van Egmond, you've
What's
got
your favourite?
Simon.
I love this one. The camera's picked it up. I love that one there. It's nice.
I think it has to be that Simon one down there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like the white and gold. That white and gold look. I can't lie.
Moving on from Australia context, quickly to England.
Yes.
Some would say salam to the waffling merchant himself. Our lightweight athletic club player of the week. Big drum roll. Gabriel Jesus. 5 goals in 2 games, salam. He's back, brother. He's back.
Mate, Jesus always comes around Christmas time. He
does.
He has come in 5 goals, 2 games. I think he had an assist as well. I believe.
So some of them, the way he took it, looks like a player that has been scoring goals for fun. I don't get it with him.
He's always been the low-key next coming of R9 that never came.
Okay.
It's true. Because...
Is that by his namesake?
Do you remember that first month?
The Leicester goal in the pink shirt.
That month, every time he got the ball, it was just wow.
Now, my question to you is, where does he fit in that front three now, obviously, with your injuries? Through Saka. I think he starts on the left, I'll be honest. I think Martinelli goes on the right, and I think Havertz goes up top.
Look, I really do like Martinelli on the right. It's like, you're just giving him one job. Get to that byline, cross it, get the cross across. He doesn't have to think. It's just he's doing what he does best. Take plays on, get there, cross the ball, and it worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
You reckon that's the front three?
Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli.
I think so as well.
No one else. I don't like Trossard.
You don't like Trossard for different reasons, Salam.
For very different reasons.
That is football ability. Back on England context still, Salam.
Yeah.
I want to take you to the best slogan that I've seen at Sky Sports.
What is it?
Aren't they entertaining?
Who are we talking about?
Arne Slot, brother, and his team. Aren't they entertaining? Yes, they are, brother. Yes, they are. When I saw that headline this morning, I went, oh, that's on the show today.
Can I be honest?
No. 6-3 Salam. Wow.
I'm going to be honest. Sure, I don't care whether you say or not.
Okay.
I looked at their lineup yesterday and I'm like, pardon my French, fuck me. They still have their full strength 11.
Told you.
No, but how fortunate can you be? Now, good on them, fair play, you're playing well, you're killing teams, but how fortunate can you be with injuries?
Brother, it comes to every team.
We've been decimated. City's been decimated at points of the season. They've lost Rodri for the season.
Do you remember Liverpool 2-3 seasons ago?
Yeah,
for the last 3 seasons?
No, it happens
decimated.
to every team.
So it happens.
But they haven't had one major injury throughout the season, and even with you guys, you've got depth.
Yeah.
You've had injuries, but you haven't noticed because you've been able to replace.
We have 3 different locker rooms. So.
Yeah, and the crazy thing with Chelsea is that let's just say every player is a solid 7 out of 10 that you've got there. You've just got a whole array of 7 out of 10, aside from the few.
Some would say finish above Arsenal in the Prem.
Anyway, but yeah, man, look, it's been a week of the Prem. We're not here to talk about the Prem too much today. I want to focus on the A-League this week. It is a bit of a special occasion. We're out at Newcastle, a solid 156-kilometre drive, whatever it was.
156 in particular.
Thank you, Havel. Your car has made it all the way here, unlike my Holden Commodore.
Have you been paid for that? If so, can you donate some of the UBS?
I will if we do. But let's kick it off. Sydney FC 3, Adelaide United 3, and I must say, how the hell did we rescue a point?
Team of draws,
I don't know, man. Adelaide United, though, wow.
Still the only team undefeated in the Isuzu A-League, Salah.
Dylan Perez, mate.
Wow.
Mate, wow. He killed us.
Again?
I haven't seen JCP struggle like that ever.
Not ever.
No, not to that degree, bro. He sent
His
him.
pace, brother. He's rapid. He's
Yeah,
quick. But with me, I really love this revival of Stefan Mork.
Yeah.
We saw it firsthand when we were invited out by the Jets, obviously, earlier on when it was Adelaide versus Jets. And Mork, I think, scored his first goal back, I think, for a 300 appearance for the club or something.
Wasn't it 2 goals that day?
No, one. Because they only won 1-0. But no, really, I'm shocked by it. I think he's scored in the last 5 games now. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Look, he's stood up. He really has stood up this season, and I think, he's come a long way in these last few seasons, and I think he's got his podcast as well. He's got the Football Friends podcast.
Yeah.
If you think about it, then it's like maybe him being able in and around the media and talking about stuff and seeing things from different perspectives has actually allowed him possibly to grow as a player.
You reckon in terms of like free his responsibilities and go free, you know what, I don't have to focus that much on football. Not in terms of let your effort down, let your standards down, but in terms of all that pressure on football.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
No, more I think he's able to go into the locker room and see things in different perspectives.
Okay.
Not just one vision, it's about me. It's okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. With us, talking about football week in, week out, obviously it helps the way you see things, and it helps when you go back to the football field, whether you're playing or coaching, you get to kind of understand different perspectives. I think that's what it is with him. But I really I know we've had him on the show, but Dylan, bro, he's found this position, bro. He's found this position.
I agree.
Because it's very, obviously not to the level of these 2 players, but if you were to put Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold in one player,
Not in this year, but yeah.
that's the mould of the right back.
You mean the best of Robertson, the best of Trent?
Best of Robertson, the best of Trent. You've got the best of the up and down fullback, and you've got the best of. He's good with the ball at his feet.
He's quicker than both of them.
Oh, 100%.
It's quicker than
He
both
laps
of them.
the both of them.
He laps to both of them. I want to get on to Douglas. Wow. Gets his first goal, I believe, for the league. So I'm in the league. Down 3-1, brother, and gets it back to 3-3. Did we see Viet on the sideline, bro? He went ballistic.
Yeah.
Ballistic. Can you understand why? 3-1 down, chance to go top, and not bottled it, but respectfully, you guys didn't have a way to get in, and you shouldn't have got a point.
No, we shouldn't have. Look, baby Douglas Costa for the first time this season took his finger out and actually done something, and I respect.
I wouldn't say that.
No, but we finally actually saw him. I feel like he tried.
Yeah.
Like we saw Douglas from Germany.
But even the goal that he took, his goal, brother, just he could have placed it, could have went that. Brother, went, you know what? Fuck it. I am Douglas Costa, and went bang, just to left, top left, finished. That's it.
100%. Look, I can't blame the players too much, and I think I was talking to a few mates about this off camera, and I said that you look at the team. I can't single out a player and be like, you are the reason we're not winning. For me, it falls back on Ulfi. It falls back on you have a style of play that works, obviously, to some degree against certain teams. We saw last week against Western United. There's a way to get to us. There's a way to beat us.
Some transition moments, bro.
We don't have a 6.
A proper 6.
You can't send every Dick, Tom and Harry in your team up the field and expect not to be hit on the counter.
Yeah.
Now, people will be critical of Hayden Matthews over the last couple of weeks. He'll be the first to say that he hasn't had a good performance in the last couple of weeks. But
that's the life of a football player.
But you can't put that much pressure on your centre backs playing a system like that without a 6 in front of them defending. You've got Anas, you've got Leo pushing up. You've got Caceres in front of them, basically playing as a second striker at times. You've got Lolly and Costa shifting sides, which means that the fullbacks 9 times out of 10 have 1,000,001 spaces in front of them to push up.
Brother, both centre backs are under the age of 25.
That's why. Then why are you dropping him? Like
that's all Fuchs' decision.
For me, it's you're playing. You're stubborn. Clearly, you're a manager that's stubborn and stuck in
Nothing
how
wrong
you
with
want to
that.
play. Nothing wrong with that because I see an identity in the way we play.
Of course.
But you have to be aware. It's similar to the other Sydney FC coach with the women's with Ante Juric. You have to be aware to realise that something's not right. Something fundamentally isn't working. We're scoring 3 goals and still losing games, Thomas.
Is that same as the one?
This is the 3rd or 4th game this season where we've scored 3 goals and we haven't won the game.
Okay, can we stop it there? Just he's not going to admit it, but it's not panic stations yet.
No.
It is not panic stations.
No,
yet.
it's not.
It is not hit the red button. panic. We've got the 5 best marquee signings in the league, best striker arguably.
Yeah.
It's not panic stations yet.
No, it's not. All it's going to take.
Okay.
No. All it's going to take is that one game where we just absolutely go bang 5-6 goals.
You murder someone.
You murder. It happened last season. We just need that game,
Mariners
and we'll
will.
just go. I believe so.
That's
I
what,
think
yeah.
we went there. We won 4-0. I think.
Something like that.
Get that out of the way. Get it out of your system, and you'll feel like you can click. And it'll give the defenders a bit more of that. Let's just call it supernatural ability, where they can feel like they're Superman. And even if the team's all the way up the field, they'll get there. They'll defend it.
Speaking of a team that went 4-0, Salam, as you asked, you were quite happy boy on Saturday, Salam.
I was, and Western United agreed with me that day.
They did.
Just for context, guys, I put up a story on Saturday. Basically, thanked Western United for finally beating.
Did you pay them?
Huh?
Did you pay them?
No, I didn't pay anyone. Out of their love for UBF, they turned around and followed us back.
Thank you.
And then basically reshared a post of me saying, thank you, Western United, for beating Auckland 4-0 because they have gotten lucky week in and week out. And in doing that, they've put a target on my head. So Auckland is no longer a holiday
You got many targets on your
Oh, man, I've pissed off a lot of people.
But brother, first ever A-League defeat for Auckland. I'll be honest, we were in Newcastle maybe about 3 weeks ago, as everyone knows, and me and Matt, I made a joke to Matt. I said, Matt, when they concede their first goal, it's not going to be pretty.
No.
They conceded the first goal by Barusas, 2 at Melbourne City, still got the point, and now they've conceded 4. 7 goals in 3 games conceded from a team that had clean sheets.
Yeah.
I'm just. They've conceded the equal amount of goals to the games they've played.
God willing, they concede 10, Thomas.
I wouldn't say that's a lot.
Look, I think...
How can you say that to a former manager of your club?
That's fine.
Did you start supporting the club after he left? Or?
Actually, yes, I'm pretty sure.
Here we go.
But to be honest with you, it's not even that. It's. I've watched them week in and week out to get lucky. And it's frustrating because we both support teams that we've had games where we've played 3 times as good as they have and not even one, let alone drawn.
Yeah.
You watch them and they're playing like absolute dog shit, yet still rescuing a point or a mistake here or
Still
a
hiding
mistake
both
there.
of us.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
So I will say though, and Hayden said it last week, Western United are a dangerous team.
Hey, they moved to 5th in the table now, Salon. And my question to you is, we said at the start of the year, almost poked fun at Western in terms of their signings.
Yeah.
Ibasuki has come good, man.
Hey.
At least now,
You poked fun at them,
now I'm
not
about
me,
to
mate.
apologise. Western said my apologies. Kudos to you. Just don't do that when you verse Wanderers, please.
Yeah.
But no, really good, brother. I want to send a special mention out to Michael Roos as well. He did some damage against FC last week.
Yeah.
Grew up, he's a Western Sydney boy, Salam. So shout out to Michael, shout out to Noah Botic as well.
Yeah.
But no, really, really good. They're looking good, and yeah, I am surprised because again, Aloisi didn't have the best time last year, the year before that.
Yeah.
He's weird as a coach. It's like he's every 3rd year. It's like a period or a cycle.
Yeah.
It's like a menstrual cycle. I don't know. It's clockwork.
Look,
Every 3 years he's on.
you've left out one brother,
Tell me.
Mr. Grimaldi.
Oh, that brother, Grimaldo from Bayer Leverkusen.
No, Grimaldi from
I know.
from Western United.
Yeah.
No, and look, they're going to be a dangerous team. Now, the key for Auckland is can they recover? Can they rescue?
I don't know.
What is it? 8 games they went undefeated.
Brother, that 7 games undefeated. The 8th they've lost. But bro, 8 games played. Up until round 6, they haven't conceded a goal.
No.
They've conceded 7 in 3 match days. That's cooked.
Yeah, but
That's cool.
That's now the test of,
Yeah.
are the fans still going to show up if they
Nah,
lose
the fans will
another
show
game?
up. Have you seen the slide
No,
and
I
the
have.
sandcastles? I want to go on the slide.
But it's gone.
I want to go on the slide.
Tom, it's going good. Let's just say they lose the next 3-4 games. 5 games. They don't win in the next 5.
So you're saying Wanderers make top 6?
If they play like they did yesterday, but to be fair, Wellington, Rob, we'll get to that.
We'll get to
No, it's just a matter of can they recover? They've gone now 1 point in the last 6,
Yeah.
as in 1 point in the last 6 available.
It's not good, brother.
I'm a happy boy. That's all I've got to say. Anyway, on to the next game. Perth Glory won.
We might not have a fan base left, Salam, if you keep attacking people.
Listen, people love you.
Thank you.
I'm okay to take the brunt of piss
Is it because
people
you've got big, broad shoulders that you can take it?
If they came towards you, mate, you wouldn't be here today.
Oh, crumble as a stick.
Yeah, you know those stampedes with the elephants when
And
there's
we'll
that
move
little
on.
when there's that little gazelle running in between by accident and she gets accidentally stomped on by the elephants. That's Thomas up there.
So now he's been sponsored by Sony and his watch
No,
Craven.
David Attenborough's
Craven
personally
Nunn.
messaged me for
don't know, to be honest. Great movie, by the way.
John Franco, what's that channel called? The Wildlife Channel?
National
Planet.
Discovery.
Thank
National
you,
Discovery.
Thank you to all those channels for teaching me how
Anyway,
how to drive.
onto a place that's filled with natural resources. Perth versus Brisbane. Salam. The battle of the sackable coaches.
The El Sacico is what they called it. Yeah.
Dom called it that.
Football Twitter called it that the whole weekend. El Sacico.
I don't like it. It hasn't got a ring to it. Anyway, David Zvilic gets one over Ruben, last name I'm not going to pronounce, Ruben.z. After his antics last week against Combank Stadium, at Combank, I was surprised that he didn't perform at least 15 of those when he was going down and needed a goal. But yeah, brother, I'm going to say right now, it wasn't pretty to watch. There wasn't really much. There wasn't really much. I watched it at 5 o'clock on Saturday. Wasn't really much, Salam. But yeah, David Williams gets the goal.
Yeah.
By the way Perth celebrated, I thought they generally made finals. I generally thought they had one hand on the toilet seat. Generally,
I can't sit here and say that, like you said, it wasn't pretty. But it's just, I hate those type of games. They're not the best representation of our league.
Ooh.
It's not, man. It's not. Can you imagine turning the game? Imagine as a random football fan that's never watched the A-League and you've tuned in that day and you've turned on, let me watch Brisbane versus Perth.
Well, it's 11th versus 12th.
It's
not pretty. No, it's not pretty. I agree.
No. Look, I want to move on from that game because if I keep talking about this game, I don't think we'll have a relationship with either club. So
I love Brisbane. It's a great city, and I want to live there eventually.
The big game.
Wanderers?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Melbourne Derby.
The Melbourne Derby, Salam.
Give me your perspective, and then I'll give you mine.
No, why are you always second? Why do you always have to pledge to end it?
Because I always finish last.
Okay. We had some great chats, Salam, during the game.
In the public over our stories.
Well, I think personal as well, Salam. Can I just say what a wonderful game. Congratulations to both coaches.
Yeah.
Congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to both clubs. What a spectacle it was, Salam.
Yeah.
From the stands to the pitch to the players themselves, the energy they displayed for 94 minutes was incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm being serious. End to end, I love it. Yes, Victory's goal wasn't the most visually appealing. Yes, City in the first 15 killed them. Besides that, didn't really have much. But brother, what a spectacle.
Yeah.
What a spectacle. I want to quickly go to Melbourne Victory. Now, rewind in September, where you gracefully asked for my predictions on the league. I told you Melbourne Victory are going to win. With Kisnorbo. Kisnorbo's gone. What I still saw, Arthur Pillis, there's rumours that he's going to be the head coach now.
Yeah.
After being appointed interim. Brother, if they play like that, and they manage to find their feet in terms of shooting boots, they're winning the league. They're untouchable.
Yeah.
The way Piscopo gets the ball on the half turn and just starts running. The way Arzani hugs the line, beats 3 and 4, puts a ball in across that any defender wouldn't want to touch. The way Marchash, besides 2-3 balls, was rubbish. The way he takes a touch, beats 1 or 2 and finds a little ball to Vargas or Fonaroni when he comes off the bench. And you got Velupale just casually sitting there waiting for a Socceroo call up on the side. Brother, it's incredible. Guerrier at the back, Hamill, Roderick Miranda.
Right.
I love it. Ryan Teague.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with Victory. Yes, it's a derby. They're going to live. They're going to have that hype. For me, the real test is next week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who they're versing next week. I don't know. However, yes, it's a Melbourne derby. Yes, you're going to be naturally hyped. Yes, the coach didn't have to do much beside there's your tactic board. Yes, this is for our city. This is for the East or West, whatever they claim to be from Victory. Next week's the test. Where there's no passion needed. You're going to need to hype them up as a coach. You're going to need to go, okay, this is what we need to do, so we're going to play. For me, next week's the test. That's my perspective.
Fair enough.
And I'm giving a bouquet of flowers to Pisco when I say.
I hope you do. I hope you even more than a bit.
What a brilliant player.
I hope you shower him with love.
Move on, Salam. Started at Wellington, moved to Jets. You know, played at Jets, Pisco. And then we were in talks to sign him, Salam. And then he saw Parramatta Stadium. And then he went, no, not for me. And then he's made his way to Victory. How's that?
Question.
Would I take him? Absolutely.
You would take him, of course.
Oh,
of course. Fucking whoever you want, come off the left. Ooh, would you take him over Milo?
Yeah.
Over Burlo?
In what position? As a 9?
You've got a front three. One of them has to go.
Front 3?
Yeah.
Crave goes.
Clive goes.
Crave goes.
Before I give you my opinion, it was funny yesterday after the game. I'm speaking to Jess, and he comes up to Jess and like to us. He used to play for Wellington, didn't he?
Crave.
Yeah.
Crave and Pesco play together.
Yeah. He's like, oh, am I able to go into the Wellington change room? He was like asking her.
Was that? What a player. I love that, brother.
No,
I love Eastern European people.
Yeah.
They're just there.
Is it because you're Eastern European?
Move on, son.
Yeah. My thoughts on the game. Now, look, they played really well.
Top.
Really, really well. And I think Melbourne City really showed up.
Yeah.
My frustrations come from that game. And before I even get there, Patrick Kuznorbo, you're an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace.
I quite like Patrick, to be honest. He's a serious
Great. But even I said it. I've been, preaching. What's that saying? Like when you.
You're on your own here, boss.
What's that saying? Anyway, I've been speaking so good about him all season. I'm not even gonna. Huh?
Giving him
I've given him his flowers. I've been preaching to the choir, whatever that saying is, singing to the choir about you, Patrick Kuznorbo. And then you decide to do what you did the week before the derby. I can never justify that. I don't care whether you've been offered a contract by, I don't know, Real Madrid.
Stop.
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 Hold on. Come peel the oranges for us at Real Madrid and you get on a fucking plane. I'm sorry.
Arsenal call you tomorrow to wipe Gunnosaurus's ass. You go?
Yeah, but I don't have a responsibility of coaching a team a week
You're
before the derby.
you're head coach of Sydney FC.
Head coach in the FC.
Head coach of Sydney FC.
Is the derby that weekend?
Head coach of Sydney FC.
Is that derby that weekend?
I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking.
Okay, derby against West Sydney Wanderers.
Yes. Arsenal call me.
Yeah.
What do they want from me?
Would you like serious or joke?
Serious.
Assistant coach. Because that's the rumour. That's the rumour we've been told.
And they want me
You have to go.
get there on that day.
You have to go. Of course you
And
go.
then sign the contract on the
you
table.
go.
Of course I would. Patrick Kuznorbo hasn't confirmed anything.
Brother,
Patrick Kuznorbo.
there's very, very strong link that he's assistant.
Patrick Kuznorbo is like the guy that resigns, leaves on the day, has a month off work before he starts his new job.
see where he goes.
You have a Melbourne derby on the
find
weekend.
out.
I'm sorry, but
His opinion might change.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
but you have a Melbourne derby on the weekend. You've got something good going with his team. I don't care. You leave the week after. You don't leave the club that's given you a chance, a proper chance, and that's let you build something. For what? An assistant coach role in Asia?
That's what we've heard. I'm not saying that's confirmed.
Why not stick around, win the league? You've got.
That's what I said. I agree. I'm just telling you.
It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful to the league. And all these people that sit here and preach about growing the game, or growing the game in Australia, go off and do stuff like that. I can't justify it. In terms of the actual game of football, fuck, I wanted to pull my hair out. Great end-to-end game. The finishing. It's just the finishing of that game for me, man.
You love that. You love that in terms of actual. I love the actual chances created, the way they took their chances. Brother, fucking Bajic and Atkinson were on skates. You couldn't touch them.
No.
Arzani and Piscopo, the way they ran at them was incredible. I saw Arzani 2018 at the World Cup. I'll be honest.
He's killing it.
Brother, weapon.
He's reminding us how good he is.
Yeah, man.
It's.
I'll be honest. Where is he? When that brother decides to give a fuck, best player in the league.
100%.
When that brother decides to give a fuck,
Yeah.
best player in the league.
No,
when he
100%.
does it,
Yeah.
he's average.
No.
So, Daniel, credit to you. For me, one of Australia's best attacking talents that we've ever had. Naturally, wow.
Yeah,
But when you decide to give a fuck, you are incredible.
He's an amazing player. Yeah. Now, my frustrations came from Machach.
Zinedine.
The amount of times he had the ball on the edge of the box, all he had to do, look up.
But he's French and Moroccan, brother.
Piscopo should have had a hat-trick.
I like René.
If Machach passed the
Don't
ball...
attack René.
If Machach passed the ball... I'm not attacking Reno. If you listen to what I said, I'm not attacking Reno.
Okay.
I'm talking about Machach and him being able to thread the ball through to Reno on the side, on the left. He's clear on goal. Of all players in that team, you trust Piscopo to hit it first time. And it's frustrating because these are good players. They're actually decent players.
They'll come good.
Azani, I think, is going to be fine. I think Miranda, I swear to God, halfway through the game at halftime, I was thinking of the drink, Miranda. And I'm like, let me post this. I'm like, he's your goal scorer for the second half. And then he went and actually scored. I should have posted it. I swear to God, I should have posted
I would have taken it down some.
Now, I'll move on to the next game.
What club?
Wanderers 4, Wellington Phoenix 1. Question to you.
Yep.
Were the Wanderers that good or were Phoenix just rubbish?
Would you like my honest opinion?
Honest opinion.
Phoenix was shit.
Yeah. They were bad.
Phoenix was shit. I'll be honest. Brisbane gave us a tougher fight.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Maybe we play into Brisbane's hands.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I will give us credit for, and when teams that play shit at Combank before,
Yeah.
we failed to capitalise.
Yeah.
For you to score in the first minute
Yeah.
sets the fucking standard and the tone.
Yeah.
We've done that with Sapsford, and that for me is where the game was sealed.
Yeah.
You went, okay, you don't want to show up? No problem. We'll come and do a job. We'll come and show up as the home team.
Yeah.
We'll come and show the fans.
Yeah.
And it was just beautiful. The day we had turbans for Australia there, Salam donating. We had a good crowd there, RBB. Yes, it was 43 degrees, whatever it was. Brother, you set the standard there.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to be on the field from the club. And we saw the passion from the players when they came over to the RBB. We saw the passion from the RBB transferable. It's vice versa.
Yeah.
Next week, you don't reckon they're not going to show up on New Year's Day?
No,
Are you
no,
serious?
they
Of
will.
course they're showing up New Year's Day.
They will.
So that for me, yes, Wellington was shit, like you rightfully said.
Yeah.
But we had to do a job, and we did a job.
Yeah, but-
Sapsford, Borello, Kraev, and Cicluna. What a rocker from Cicluna as well, by
Dude,
the way.
you guys,
Wow.
like, this is how bad Wellington were. That first 15 minutes, it felt like I was watching you when that, like, prime Galactico Real Madrid team would just absolutely put their foot
Murder,
on teams.
yeah, murder, yeah.
Like, you
No, it
had
was murder,
Morello
bro.
and Sapsford up front. I've never
murder.
seen them that clinical in my life.
It was murder, bro.
But,
Anderson as well.
Cicluna, man.
For me, he's been the best one to play this year.
Yeah.
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 Just in terms of consistency, I think he started 6 out of the 7. He's just Mr. Consistent. He played it right back for the last 10. Go right back, go in the 6, go in the 8, and you can hit a ball as well, brother. Well done. Credit to you, brother. Came from under 21s Malta.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Tony, see if you can organise something there to cap him in the
Malta team.
our team you spec.
Mate, put him in a Malta team.
Why?
So I think he'll do a job for Malta.
I think he's personally up there with Jackson Irvine with us.
Cicluna.
Yeah. Unlike Jackson.
Do you
Irvine.
think he'll ever get a cap?
Well, he's got to be eligible first. I'm not sure. I'm not sure with Dylan's parents. If you want to contact the podcast and see if you're eligible.
Just let us know. We'll contact. Is it who's the right? It's not immigration. It's what are they called?
Border control.
Birth tests and we got to cut that one out, don't we?
But, births, deaths, and we'll move on from that. What's border control? What's wrong with that? I didn't say Dylan goes to border control. Anyway, Marcus Antonsen. Marcus Antonsen, brother, credit to you. You've made this man a very happy man. There's nothing more than my good friend loves to do than donate to charity. And Abdul providing receipts of that transfer tonight or tomorrow. So.
I will post it up on the story.
Yep,
now,
good, yep.
Mr. Joe K, I give you all end of shit because of Marcus Antonsen. But credit where credit's due. I think goals per minute.
I want to study that degree. I want to study what Joe did.
Oh, with what? Yeah,
No,
I
I
know.
want to find it. I want to pay and study it. Because I want to be able to find the next player.
It's called The Bachelor and Wanderers. I'm majoring in Marcus Antonsen.
How much is the eggs there? cost?
That's free.
Free for Marcus.
Free.
I reckon he covers it, Marcus.
Marcus covers everything.
The wage is on, you would expect him as
You
well.
know what though? Like all jokes aside, he's come on and done a job every time.
Fuck me, every time.
He's one of those players, and I think it's a bit hypocritical of me because I'm such a big fan of Kai Havertz. It doesn't look pretty.
Marcus.
Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but it does the job.
He's Swedish. It's not someone says he's attractive.
Before we finish off, I want to say the biggest pinch me moment I had yesterday. I'm sitting down, I'm doing the stories on the field. All you see is the boys start talking about behind me, the Wanderers
here we
boys.
go.
Hey,
He hasn't stopped.
This is
the whole car ride he has.
This is every little boy's dream. Juan Mata comes up to you, grabs you on the shoulder, and he's like, "How are you, my friend?" I'm like, "I'm good. How are you, Juan?" I'm like, "How you feeling?" He's like, "Oh, good, good."
Did the voice drop?
I'm like, "Yeah, Juan. How are you, man?"
No. Other variation of that one was.
Hey, Juan. Nah, man. It's bro. I'll say this.
It's pretty surreal. And brother, fuck.
It is Christmas Eve, and I kind of want to think back on the last year that we've had. Right, the experiences. Like, look where we are today. Like, we're at Newcastle Jets. We're in the trophies and the domestic trophies, the jerseys, everything in here. You know, the John Francos and the Francises of the world. We wouldn't be here without everyone.
No, I want to quickly do something because it is Christmas Salam. Bit of a surprise for myself. I know we've got 3 or 4 minutes left of the podcast. Your 3 favourite players that represent Christmas to you?
In what way?
Could be looks, could be performances in Christmas, could be the winter football in the snow in Europe.
Gabriel Jesus for sure. That brother always turns up around Christmas. It's happened for the last.
Is it because of his namesake?
I think so. I think it's just like that.
What about Angel Di Maria? Angel Di Maria.
I've got one.
Mm.
Now, I know her name. I'm going to change it a little bit.
That's fine, I accept that. We'll go back and forth.
Emily Van Eggnog.
Ooh. What about Harry Candy Cane?
Oh, yeah. I've got another one. But I don't know.
Imagine you've clicked on now at this part of the video.
The one I'm going to say, I'll say it off camera. I think I'll offend people with it, but let's keep
Give
it
me two more. Give me two more. Because I've... oh, kill me. This one might actually...
Bukayo Saka presents.
Oh.
That's a good one.
What about decorations?
Nah.
Deco, has it?
Nah.
No. I got one more, man. Then we're done there. Have you got one more? No.
Yeah, give me a second.
Come on, mate. When are you special? You gotta be on the ball. You gotta be.
Carol's Baskin.
Ooh. And I think we'll end it. There's nothing better than I love to do, Salam, than honestly just eat some gigs in blankets.
Gigs ate a lot of things they shouldn't have eaten.
Call it there, boss.
We're going to end it there.
We're gonna do
Anyway,
that.
Look,
Ryan gigs in blankets.
on that note, stay tuned because at the other side of this exit, we're going to have 3 players. We're not going to tell you who they are yet. 1 of the women's players, 2 of the men's team. Should we tell them?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's tell them the first one. You want to say goodbyes first?
No.
No, say goodbye. I'm going to end this.
First of all, Merry Christmas on behalf of the entire United by Football team. We'll be able to be getting bigger, stronger, and what's that? Faster, higher. What's that thing?
There you go. Stronger, faster. Yeah, I know what
Bigger, stronger, faster, higher, whatever. Won't be competing at the Olympics, but we will be up there in terms of numbers and followers, hopefully soon. But just a Merry Christmas from all of us at UBF. If you don't celebrate, happy holidays to yourselves and Happy New Year. Enjoy the break. And we'll carry on to Salam's beautiful transition out into our next guest.
Yes. Again, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year as well. Obviously, like I said, a big thank you from me, the boys here, UBF, the UBF family, our extended family, you know who you are, and everyone that's been involved in the last 365 plus days. But I'm going to lead you into our next guest. Say hello to Sheridan Gallagher. Welcome back to United by Football, and I'm here with a special guest, Newcastle Knights wing fullback and Newcastle Jets forward, Sheridan Gallagher. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Right, well, it's a beautiful room. A lot of history here. A lot of the Simon jersey, Van Egmond. She's actually one of my favourite players when it comes to the Tillies. How are you feeling the Newcastle Jets?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think you touched on the jerseys that are in this room, and it's pretty cool to see some of these jerseys, and hopefully one day, mine can be hanging up in here too.
Mm-hmm. And who would have thought last week I'm sitting there on the sideline at the FC first Newcastle Jets game. Sheridan's absolutely flooring the hell out of everyone, shoulder to shoulder, and a week later I'm here and I'm in pain still. You guys had one woman down and you still managed to win that game.
Yeah, it was a tough game, and Sydney definitely brought it to us, but I think the girls really dug deep and we sort of got that result that we wanted. Yeah.
So I heard you're from Western Sydney yourself. You're a Western Sydney girl from MacArthur region. Yep. I used to go to Westfield Sports. Yeah. Now, I went to East Hills Boys. We had a few rugby union competitions against you guys. It's not fair. It's not fair. We got battered, bruised. We had you guys, St. Pat's. We had Patrician Brothers as well, and Endeavour.
Yeah, look, I can't really condolences for your losses, but yeah, I don't know, be better.
Be better. Nah, it's talk to us though. Well, it's in the terms of being better. You play 2 sports. Yeah. You play rugby league and you play football. What's it like doing both?
Yeah, it's hard. I think, I didn't think that it would be as hard as what it had been, and obviously I'm not your typical soccer player that sort of comes in and, built in stature. And I think for me, I really struggled with that the first couple of weeks. And, over the past few weeks, it's been really good, and I've sort of, had to accept it. And everyone has to bring their point of difference and not sort of change for anyone, and not change to fit in either. And I think, that's why I am the player that I am today, because I do have that physical aspect, and it's a big part of my game. And I'm really grateful that, both sports complement each other, and it's been pretty cool.
With your big advocates of women's football, forget women's football generally, women in media, women in sports media, women around this space in general. With you, given that you've played both sports, how have you found it in terms of, you don't see much in a men's game. You don't see someone playing both football and rugby league. Do you feel like it's a bit more of a challenge you're having to do that because of, how sport is for women in Australia?
I think yes and no. I think I'm very lucky that they align perfectly within 6 months of the year, and I think I missed 2 weeks or 3 weeks of the pre-season for the Jets, and the Knights were really accommodating him and letting me go across, and so are the Jets with the Knights. But it is challenging. I think if it is full time, then that choice isn't there, but it's also pretty cool to show some young kids that it doesn't matter what you want to do and what you want to achieve in life. If you knuckle down and you really want to do it, you're going to achieve it. And I think that's probably my biggest goal, is just to inspire the young kids coming through, and helping build a path for anyone that follows along. Or I think there's only Elise Perry so far that's sort of gone to the top and been able to do it. So if I can sort of be that next person for the young kids coming through, then maybe one day there'll be another young kid that does it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say Elise Perry. Is she someone you looked up to growing up as well?
Yeah, for sure. I used to sit at home at the kitchen table and say to Mum, I can't believe that she plays 2 sports for Australia. And I played soccer growing up and watching her play soccer, and then to cricket. I'm not playing cricket anytime soon, but rugby league and to soccer, I think they're both hard sports, and they're both got some transferable skills. But cricket and soccer, they're 2 very different ball sports, and got to take your hat off to her. She's done well. Yeah.
And I believe you guys just lost one of your star players at the Knights too. So do you feel like coming into this season there might be a little bit more pressure coming on to you?
I think yes and no. I think you got to take every year as it comes, and just got to have a lot of buy-in from the girls that we've got. And I think we have a really good group coming on, and a lot of young players that are going to get their chance to shine. And I have no doubt that they'll step up in that spot.
Now, I've got an 11-year-old sister, so I've started taking her to a bit more of FC games. Apologies, I can't bring her to Newcastle every weekend. But what's it like knowing that, you can play a part in, yesterday we were at the Wanderers game, the men's Wanderers games, and I managed to capture a few photos after with the boys, with the fans and everything. And there was a photo specifically that I saw, I think it was Secluna with one of the boys. The way that little boy looked at him, I'm like to the boys in the car, I'm like, it's crazy how one person could have that much of an impact on someone's life. Like, what was it like for you, going out every game, seeing the girls come, little boys, little girls? How does that impact your life, and how do you feel impacting someone's life like that?
Yeah, I think, everyone has their why and why they play, and for me it's obviously play for myself and my family, but I think, the biggest one for me is inspiring that, next generation of kids, because if we don't inspire them, there's nothing going to be on TV for us to watch when we're 60 and 70 on a Sunday afternoon. But I think, just inspiring the next generation of kids coming through to, want to play and be able to give back to the generation coming through after them. I think, that's a big thing for me, and I've had a couple of coaches that have really instilled that in us, and, just to see that smile on their face at the end of the day. You never know what someone's going through, and, if we can bring that smile to them, then that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and I think the big thing I've noticed with you as a footballer as well, different to a rugby league player, is the women's game is very transitional, and I think this country slowly we're trying to evolve the game. I was at the Sydney Olympic grounds, I think on Thursday. They had a Chinese, I think their name was Gangwan. They came and played the Sydney Olympic team there. You see the difference in styles. I think we like to play in the transition, or we sit back and defend very deep and hit on the counter. I feel like you're trying to break that mold a little bit. I feel like you don't see many strikers like you with the power and the pace and the strength, whereas it's actually very much more in the mold of, if I was to think, what would you define yourself? Like, if you could compare yourself to one player, I don't want to get this one wrong, but if you could compare yourself to one player, who would it be?
I don't think I can compare myself to one person. I think I take a little bit from everyone and make it my own, and hopefully one day there's a young kid out there that says that they want to be like me, and that's sort of what I, pride myself on, is that I'm not like everyone else, and you have to pave your own name, and I think I sort of read that in a book, and it was about, you know, LeBron James, and he said, you know, I want to be like Michael Jordan, but I'm not going to be Michael Jordan. And I think, you know, that's what I sort of took away from that. Like, I want to be like Sam Kerr, but I'm not ever going to be Sam Kerr.
No.
So I had to bring my own, you know, X factor, and why people turn up to the games and why I can get people into the stands is because I do have my own sort of trademark on the game.
Look, and you're in two very growing sports. I think the NRLW is absolutely booming at the moment. The coverage they're getting, the promotion they're getting, I think they're actually growing in quality. I think it's done a lot of a better job than the AFLW. I feel like with NRLW, they've actually treated it as its own entity, as its own game. It's a different, you know, I'm a diehard rugby league fan, and it's very different to the men's game, and they've actually respected it for what it is. I think the girls in this country are slowly trying to just detach themselves from the men's side, because it's very hard for football fans. I know what I've realised delving into women's football, it's very hard for a lot of the, I'm trying to use the right word to not offend anyone, the ignoramuses of the world, to differ the two. They look at it and they're like, oh, you know, it's not like, it's a different game. And I think that you've come into the right time as well. Like you said, in 20 years' time, you might sit back and be like, well, I've played a part in both of them. So
I think, you know, this women's sport is growing, you know, rapidly within this country and around the world. And I think AFL did a good job at the start, but I think it went too quick and adding too many clubs and teams, and it's just going to be a circle thing where you're going to take players from other sports, but then they're going to leave to go to other sports. So I think,
100%.
you know, the NRL and, you know, also the A-Leagues, I think they're doing a great job in, you know, harnessing their talent and keeping them around and sort of building them through their pathways and, you know, sort of watching those girls go from 12s, 13s, 14s into their women's team and sort of play on instead of losing them at 22, 23 because they want to, you know, go out and hang out with their mates.
No, that's fair. And my last question before we end this. So you're a Western Sydney girl. What's it like moving from Western Sydney to Newcastle?
Yeah, look, I actually grew up, you know, with horses and dogs and cats and all that sort of thing. So there was never a beach and there was never a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know, that was in walking distance. And if you wanted to go get a bar of chocolate, it was 25 minutes down the road. And to move up here and live by the beach and sort of stroll along Merriweather and, you know, have a coffee with your mates every morning is something that I sort of hold really close to me. And, you know, people ask me how I'm going, and I always say living the dream, and they have a little laugh, and I say, you know, how many of you get to wake up every morning and go have coffee with 30 of your best mates? And there's not too many people that get to say that. And I think, you know, coming up here and you do sit at Merriweather and you watch the waves and the dolphins roll in and have a coffee, have a laugh, and, you know, you can't really have a bad day from there. And you've sat with your mates and then you go to work and then you get to turn up again in the afternoon and go to training. I think it's something pretty special.
Yeah, and if you think about it just in perspective, you live in the dream.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you've got, like you said, 6 months in this sport, 6 months in the other sport. You're not one of those that you get to do the same sport for 30 years. Like, I'm sure you'd love to, but at the same time, you're getting that experience that you rarely ever see anywhere else. Like, can you imagine like I don't know, Alexia Putellas 6 months playing football, she takes 6 months playing tennis somewhere else in Spain. So not everyone gets that opportunity. And I think, you know, we talked about Elise Perry before, but it's just crazy. And personally, like, we got asked by the club, which one of the girls do you want to interview? You're the first one on my list. I said, I'm like, Sheridan. I'm like, for me, you know, Western Sydney boy myself, I've grown up watching rugby league, I've grown up watching football, and there's not many people that can kind of say that and that love both equally, and I feel like you're pretty much the same. Who do you support in the NRL?
NRL, die-hard West Tigers fan.
I'm so sorry. My condolences to you. just
We're
for
holding on
context,
to it.
just for context, those who don't watch rugby league, the West Tigers are equivalent to like
Perth Glory.
pretty much Perth Glory.
Yeah.
They haven't played finals since 2011.
They haven't won since 2005. You know, Benji Muscle flick past.
So that's fine. We're all on the bus. We're all, you know, we're jumping
We're
on
not a
home.
bandwagon hopper. We're staying strong.
Jerome was there this season. You've
that'd be
got Bullo's a good player, Galvin's a good player, Coruscant. You've signed Terrell May as well from. You've got a good team. You got Skelton, Taruva. Like, I love my rugby league.
Yeah.
I still don't have hope. I do apologise. I'm a Bulldogs fan, as we discovered before, and
Well.
Sheridan was about to walk out.
Yeah.
Nah, but we do appreciate your time.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, like I said, you've been absolutely a game changer for a lot of girls out there, and for me, someone who I've grown up with a lot of female influences in my life, and grown up, I've got 14 years between me and my sister, so having someone like you and being able to show her that, look, you can love both is awesome.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I just think, for any young girls out there, give your hand a go at anything.
Sky's the limit, guys. Cheers, thank you.
All right, UBF family, we're still in Newcastle. Don't worry, we haven't left yet, because we haven't left for one reason. We've got the main man himself, Eli Adams. How are you, mate?
Good. How you all doing?
Good, man. Good. Can I say, mate, what lovely weather it is today, isn't it, in Newcastle?
Yeah, they certainly put on a show for us.
Some would say reminds you of home.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a bit warm up there maybe today, but yeah.
Do you want to tell our viewers where you're from and basically how you got started into football?
Yeah, sure thing. So I grew up in a small country town called Toowoomba, just outside. Started playing football when I was about 10 years old. Got into it because the older brother, the little brother wants to follow in the big brother's footsteps, and you want to outdo them, I guess. But yeah, started playing, and then around 16, 17, I started to go down and start doing training with the Brisbane Roar in the NYL back in the day, and then moved to the Gold Coast so I could be closer to their training facilities and everything. And then moved down to Melbourne and spent a great 2 years there, and now I've found myself in Newcastle.
How was that transition, obviously, going from a country town, Toowoomba, to a big city, Brisbane, and then to Gold Coast for game time? How did the family find it? How did your mother and dad find it?
Yeah, it's certainly different. I think it was a real life eye-opening experience because I was only 16, 17 when I moved out of home. So becoming somewhat independent, having to look after yourself, it's certainly something you don't learn about too much when you're young.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming from only played 10 games for the Roar for the first team.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you find that going? Obviously, your debut in Brisbane Suncorp Stadium. How'd you find that?
Yeah, no, it was unreal. I mean, following them a lot from a younger age with the likes of Broish, Barisha, Enrique. They were a heroic team, certainly to say. So, yeah, it was something very special for me and the family, I guess, to be able to make my debut at home in front of the fans and family.
Of course, absolutely. And then obviously off to Melbourne Victory, that's where we sort of caught eyes on you. And I think that's where the A-League, some would say, we basically got to understand who Eli Adams is. You predominantly tend to play on the right and then obviously up front. What do you like more, and what do you think your game is moulded more to? Is it off the right or is it down the centre?
I think it's sort of having the freedom to feel what's right in the moment. So growing up, I played a lot as a central 10, and then because of the physicality of the game, got moved out wide at a young age, and had to adapt to that quite a fair bit. So I'd say I'm comfortable in both, but quite recently I've just been given the freedom to position myself where I feel right in the moment, and just play the way I feel. Yep.
And in Victory as well, we sort of saw that. We saw that you sort of came off the bench in between. There was moments where you're on the right, down the centre. How did you find it working under Tony? And obviously, where Tony is now with the Socceroos, do you see yourself maybe there in maybe 3 or 4 years? Obviously, a long way to go. But mate, from what we saw at the MacArthur games, those 2 goals, Abs, my good friend, he called you the Thierry Henry from Toowoomba.
Yeah, wow,
that's big praise.
That's really cool.
Yeah, big praise. But where do you see yourself?
Yeah, I think everyone dreams of playing for the national team. It's certainly in my goals and ambitions, but it's something that I'm not too focused on right now. I think seeing that transition from, like you said, little game time to now doubling the minutes I played compared to last season, it's been in my focus to really just sort of make my mark on the league and, become an established player and do whatever I can to show what Eli Adams is as a player.
Yeah, and obviously now we've seen that we started 7 out of 7 games for yourself. How have you found that transition going from, as you rightfully said, little game time off the bench to now becoming a starter? And obviously Newcastle, they've got a young squad. I think you've only got 1 or 2 imports in terms of that are visa players. Do you see yourself maybe in a leadership role, maybe a captain without the armband?
Not particularly. I think there's, like you said, a very young squad, and we have Costa, who's obviously got the armband, but I think we're trying to build something within the team that there's 11 leaders out there. There's no, like Costa will wear the armband, but it's up to everyone else to hold each other accountable and, push each other to be the best that we can. I don't think, there's obviously our leadership group that tries to, take accountability and responsibility for us. But I think it's been a big message for us to really try and be a leader out there in the whatever way you can, whether it be example, words.
We also saw that we were invited by Newcastle for the Adelaide game, and we saw, if we can press you for the question as well, we saw a little altercation between yourself and Willie Sol. at the end of the game where I think maybe he took the ball off you. There was miscommunication there. Obviously, we asked Rob as well. Do you want to just quickly run us through that moment? And obviously, we all know what happened with Rob's comments after. Was it just simple miscommunication?
Yeah,
or?
nothing actually happened in the moment, obviously. Welly wanted to make an impact into the game. The ball just happened to fall to me, and we both chased it. Nothing actually happened. He just taken the ball, and I just let him go. No issues at all, nothing wrong. We went into the change room after, and we had a laugh about it. Like,
that's it.
We obviously weren't happy about the result, but you can't dwell on every little negative thing. You have to find some positivity. Not
just on that result, but in terms of your season aspirations and goals as a team, as a collective unit, where do you see yourself? Obviously, it hasn't been the best start, but obviously, Lockie Bayliss getting that amazing goal, 4-0 in Perth. Surely there is some room for improvement, and surely that, as a collective, Rob's got you, we've got a message, we've got a goal. If you can just review to our viewers, obviously, not what the leadership group said, but what are your goals for the season?
Look, it's 7 games into the season, or some teams have played 8 or 9, but for us, we're 7 games in. There's 20 more games to go. There's a lot that can happen in football, as you know.
Especially over this break.
It's one of the most mysterious games in the world. Like, anything can happen. It's one of the few sports where the worst teams can beat the best teams. And for us, it's really just trying to put our best foot forward every week now. So we obviously had the big win in Perth, but we don't want to get carried away with ourselves. It's difficult having another bye, same as after the MacArthur game. It can kill a bit of momentum, but
of course,
for us, it's just trying to put our best foot forward and go into this game in Wellington this weekend with the same mentality of just 3 points and don't focus on anything more, the bigger picture. Take it game by game.
And just a little last question before we move on to a Chelsea context, which I'm excited to as well. Your personal goals for the year. Obviously, you've come from Brisbane, then to Victory, and now to the Jets. Game time improving each year. Do you see yourself regular starter, 27 out of 27 games? Do we see a bit more on the goal contribution side, the assist contribution side? Where do you see yourself?
Yeah, I think as a player that I am, I want to be an exciting player to watch, get people off their seats, applause, get fans excited to come to the game. So, like you said, with Chelsea, one of my favourite players was Hazard. Not always a goal scorer or assist, but the magic that he was able to bring to fans and to that game, it's something that I want to try to replicate, I guess, in showing that football's more than just numbers, I guess. So, obviously they help and everything, but yeah, for me, I want to continue with the momentum that I've had to start the season. My goal in pre-season was to be ready round 1 and be a starter. Ticked that box, and then the next one is now, like you said, to continue to start, don't lose my spot, and be able to help the team out with goals, get assists, however I can. But I want to contribute more. That's it,
and like you said, we seriously caught an eye for you with the MacArthur double, mate. Especially that second goal, mate. Superb, very well taken. Can I add as well?
Thank you.
On a Chelsea context, really quickly, I've got one question for you. One question only. 11-12 Chelsea, 15-16 Chelsea. Or 2021. So we won the Champions League, 11-12. 2021, and 15-16 we won our last Premier League. Sorry, 16-17 we won our last Premier League. Sorry, no, 14-15.
Under Conte,
Under Conte, yes. Start, bench, and sell. You had to pick one team. Who are we getting rid of straight away?
I think the Champions League winners in that 21-22. They have to get sold. I mean, as a dream team they were with academy products that had come through that year, and as special as it was, where we didn't have too much success domestically.
Especially for a few seasons before that as well.
The specialty of winning that game against City in the final where, got an early goal and then having to stick it out. That was something special, but I think they have to go, unfortunately. I think the keep will be...
The bench, yeah.
The bench will probably be I'm going to say 2012 team. I think they were...
Hazard is his really favourite player.
Yeah,
wow, okay.
As historic, the first
Drogba,
Champions League, Drogba, everything was so incredible. But that 16-17 team,
16-17 team.
That was just something special for me.
That was different.
Conte you had Kante, Fabregas,
Matic,
Alonso,
Hazard.
Victor Moses on the right, Hazard, Willie and Costa up top. I mean, the football they played that year is
something special.
Something special.
My favourite player of all time from Chelsea, Oscar. Little impact, but what he was able to do on the ball, I think for me, I've never seen anything like it, to be honest. Would I be saying something along the lines of Eden Hazard for you? Or you want to expand on, obviously, you're a bit taller than Aiden, and it's a bit of a different position, but do you sort of mould the way you dribble, the way you run with the ball, the way you aim to take on players on, get fans off seats? Is that something that Aiden sort of inspired and affected your game?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, it's a bit different mould of body.
Of course.
So the style's always going to be a little bit different. He was a lot smarter in using his body because of his, the body he had. He was so smart in being able to protect himself. But the aspect of exciting fans, being a thrilling player to bring X factor and have fans go, wow, what a player, was certainly something that inspired like the game that I've built off a lot today. But unfortunately, like Mesut Ozil, like he was saying, an Arsenal player, but he's one of my favourite players of all time, and one I try to learn a lot off, where like he's a bit taller, a bit similar molds, but that left foot and the creativity.
And the vision as well.
Yeah,
Just something different.
Just unreal.
Lastly, before you can go, I'm not sure if you're into superstitions. Can we press you for a score prediction against Wellington Phoenix?
Honestly, I'm the worst at superstitions. I won't even.
Okay, we'll skip that one.
Let's skip that one completely. I'm the
They're
worst
winning.
at
That's
that.
it. Simple as that. Touch wood.
Yeah, we're going for the win, and
Beautiful.
3 points is all we can ask
And obviously
for.
a start for yourself as well, hopefully. Beautiful. Eli,
Exactly.
absolute pleasure.
Awesome.
Brother. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to
Thank
yourself.
you.
Thank you.
You too.
Legend. Beautiful.
Hello and welcome back to United by Football. I'm with another special guest, Newcastle Jets forward.
Ben Gibson.
How are you, Ben?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good. We'll get this out of the way first. I heard you're a Manly fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, massive Manly fan.
Had I known that before, I probably would have started driving home already, I must say. Nah, man, it's good. You've had a good season. I'll put that aside just because I really like what you guys are doing this season. You as a player as well, in terms of the mold that you are. It kind of, you're a striker primarily, but the way you can kind of get into the attack in terms of assists and goals, you're very much an all-round player. So that for me is like, it kind of draws me. One of my favourite players is Kai Havertz. And I get a lot of shit for that because they're like, what do you love him? I'm like, because he doesn't score 50 goals a season. He'll get 10 goals, 10 assists. He's in on everything. But where do you draw a bit of inspiration from?
I don't know. I think it changes because back when I was younger, I was a bit more of a winger.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed like staying out wide, being 1v1.
Yeah.
Just like dribbling and, like you say, not necessarily scoring, but creating chances or being involved in the attack. So probably Neymar.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just, like, he can do everything. But as I got a bit older, I don't know, I like looking back at like a young Luis Suarez because he was just effective.
Yeah.
He just scored from anywhere.
Yeah. Nah, and they're different, but I can see where it comes from.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Neymar was just Neymar.
Yeah.
I mean, you call yourself Manly's own very much Neymar, or Newcastle's Neymar.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Nukma? I don't know. Nah, but it's crazy. I think you're on 2 goals, 3 assists this season in 7 games. I believe the game against MacArthur, I think you got 3 of those in there, I believe.
Nah, just two.
Just 2, and then I
Straight to
think
Eli.
because they came from 2 games, but between you and Eli as well this season, man, far. Like, I will credit where credit's due. I'm a Sydney fan, and we've been absolutely, if I had any more hair, I'd probably be bald. But you guys have done well. I think you're building something really well. What are your thoughts on the team? What are your thoughts on what you're building? And what does the team actually mean to the people of Newcastle?
Yeah, no, I think obviously we've got such a young squad.
Yeah.
It's just about building that confidence and especially how we want to play our play style. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know what it means to all the boys to be playing at McDonald Jones and trying to give back to the fans and all that kind of jazz. But yeah, I know us in particular, we take a lot of pride in it.
Yeah.
I know our results probably haven't reflected that too much, but it's just, each person here is playing because they want to showcase themselves to other people, and especially the fans of Newcastle.
Now, you've really only come onto the scene this season. You've come through the Sydney Academy, I believe. You played a bit for Apia. What's it been like? What's that journey been like for you? How have you felt like you've grown? Where do you think you could still grow? Talk to us a bit about everything.
Yeah, so I played at Manly from like under 8s till I was about 18.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life there. And then, I went to Sydney and it didn't necessarily go that well. I enjoyed my time. The training was top. We had, however many boys there are in the A-League now, 15, 20 or whatever. But individually it did not go my way. So I got released and chose to go to Apia to a place where I knew that they wanted to play me.
Yeah.
There were like wanted to give me minutes, and yeah, I know I kind of just went there and just didn't really look back. I mean, the players there, they're something else.
Yeah.
They helped me get to where I am today, and it's been a massive. Like, I just couldn't thank them enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then from there I just moved up here and been here since.
And how's Newcastle treated you?
Oh, Newcastle's been mad.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's similar to what I'm used to, the lifestyle outside of football as well.
Yeah.
But then also the football.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and like we touched on before, you're from Manly. I feel like, we talked about outside. It's not too different.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like,
Yeah.
the vibe in Manly. I've always said you could differ of a Manly boy from a Shire boy.
Yeah.
But Newcastle's kind of, I feel like, somewhere in between. It's a bit more laid back, but it's still...
Yeah, I just don't think you get as many people that aren't from Manly. Like, a lot of them do go into Manly for like days and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's very multicultural.
Yeah.
Compared to up here, it's pretty. Like a lot of people that are up here are just from Newcastle.
Yeah.
So it's lovely.
No, it's fair. And like, our crew, for example, come from different backgrounds. I'm Lebanese, producer's Italian, Thomas is Croatian, and Matthew as well. He's half Lebanese, half Australian. And we understand the importance of that. I think I've never been to Newcastle. It's my first time, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So trying to get a gist of how it is and everything. And it's important. And I think you kind of understanding that adds to the level of it and how important it is. But just in terms of this season, how far do you think your team's going to go?
I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about that. I mean, we just take one game at a time. Try and build from what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we have had a few games this year where we have played well, but we just haven't come out of the game with the result that we wanted. I mean, we got the win in Perth 2 weeks ago, so we're still just trying to build on that. Hopefully take it into January where we have a huge run of games.
No, that's fair. And what does 2025 look like for Ben?
I think just trying to play as much football as I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that I'm new and I am still young, so there are times when I want to be playing, but I won't necessarily be. And it's just, it's like my main goal is just to play as many minutes as I can.
Well, I think you've done well with what you've received, though. I think for me, if I were a coach, obviously I'm not a coach to the standard of the A-League, but I feel like when you have played, you've proven yourself, and there shouldn't be a reason why. Like, you shouldn't doubt yourself in that sense. Like,
yeah. Oh, I wouldn't say it's doubt. I'd just say it's like, I don't know. There are a few players, not here. I'm just saying like that you meet who they'll come into a team and they're expecting to play, and unfortunately, it's just not particularly the way that it goes.
No.
I mean, with a young squad as young as we have, we do need some experienced players.
It's true.
And like, my main competition is Rosie, who has a lot of games under his belt.
Yeah.
So if it means bringing him in for more experience, like, I understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, like, I'm still young.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying it at the moment.
100%. But at the end of the day, for me, talent speaks for itself, and not trying to glaze the brother here, but like you've definitely absolutely come onto the scene. You burst onto the scene this season. To get 5 and 7, I believe, I think speaks for itself, and I feel like the combination you and Eli have going as well, man. That's for years to come. I feel like we're gonna look back in 5 years' time and I'm like, oh, remember Ben, remember Eli that time. Like it's one of those for me, and I can see it working really well. I support a team that has too many stars. I'll say it to this day, we've got too many marquees, too many big boys in that team, because now we're looking at it like we're scratching our head. Like, the players are good, we're playing well, but we're not winning games. Whereas I look at a team like yours and I'm like, even if they don't win, there's always a positive to take out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing there.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, it's also different for Sydney. Like, a few years ago, like, they were beating everyone in the league.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's the expectations of Sydney as a whole.
Yeah.
And I know the boys there.
Yeah.
They hold themselves to a high degree.
The club in general is like that, both men's and women's. Like, our women's team this season, I'm more frustrated with that than the men's team, because we're a team that's won championship, and we hold ourselves to that standard. Now we're sitting at the bottom of the table. So, look, well, the future's bright in Newcastle, and between yourself and you would have seen Eli before, I think should be an interesting season ahead of us. I would not be surprised if you guys are in contention towards April and May, but it should be good.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, thank you for your time.
All good.
I appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And I'm sure, actually, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks or a week and a half. We're coming up for Sydney anyway, so
That's it.
should be good. All right,
So.
let's do it.